So as we move on, it looks as though the Carolina Crusher will face the Gravedigger in round number 2.
What'd I tell you? Troublemaker got what he deserved. Now, Gravedigger, stick around as I nail you to the ground.
We have reached round number 1, race number 5, a very, very important one, because remember, all 5 winners get to come back, but also the top 3 losers get to come back for round number 2. So it's a very, very important one right here for both these trucks. The Kodiak, Mark Bendler out of Eagle, Wisconsin. He qualified 7th, going against the world champion, Fred Schaefer, and Barefoot qualifying 2nd. Fred Schaefer, the veteran in the field, and he is lined up and set against Kodiak. There they go. Now it's turn-on time. Bendler suffers the bounce, but Barefoot moves on and gets the win. Look at the time, 5:04 for Barefoot. What a ride on the front of Barefoot. The monster takes to the second set of cars. We're flying through the air, and what a landing. Fred Schaefer's Barefoot truck. Lots of power, lots of suspension, and a lot of travel. You can see it as it bottoms and then bounces up and straightens up almost immediately. And this is what happened to Kodiak. He doesn't have that travel in the suspension. He bounces, tries to line up, get some power, but the bounce suffers again. A lot of problems on the finish line. So the good air that Kodiak got didn't help him at all, as Kodiak goes back to the showers for the night, and Jim Davidson stands by with the winner of the pits, Fred Schaefer.
Fred, you just buried Kodiak. Tell me about the run.
Track conditions are real good. Try to get over the first set of cars and get on the ground. Let that big Dodge do all the work. I noticed when he's flying through the air that landed real hard on the front left wheel, and looks like it tweaked the sway bar a little bit.
You know, today you're getting lots of air and you're keeping the nose up, generating a lot of power, huh?
A lot of power between the cars. Air's real good out there, and motor's running just a tad lean.
Don't go away. When we come back, we'll have round number 2 of Monster Wars.
Gary Porter's Carolina Crusher has definitely had a rough ride making it to round 2. When 31-year-old Gary Porter isn't rocking and rolling on the track, he's at home on his parents' farm in Wadesboro, North Carolina. Our own Jim Davidson spent the day with Gary to check out life on the farm.
They say you can take the boy out of the country. But you can't take the country out of the boy.
I was raised, you know, out in the country, and, you know, that's where my roots are still at. You know, I just, a lot of people pick at me as being a Carolina hillbilly, but, you know, in a way, I'm proud of that.
Carolina Crusher's Gary Porter can usually be found on his parents' farm, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey, Gary. How you doing, man?
Hey, Jim, how's it going?
Good to see you.
Hey, glad you come out to the farm. Come on up here and help me feed the cattle.
But Gary's mind wasn't always on feeding animals.
Be a truck driver. That's something I wanted to do, you know, is be a truck driver, run, you know, heavy equipment.
Gary, teach me how to drive this bad boy. Gary fulfilled his childhood dreams one step at a time, and what better way to get big truck experience than on the farm's bulldozer?
Go dig in the dirt.
I'm taking out the molehill! Woo! Woo! That's high intensity, and Gary, I can't take any more, man.
All right.
Wait, chicken coop.
Come on, steady boy, you're not tough enough. Come on in here.
Hey, I'm going, you're going.
Oh, this smells better than the air in New York City. What was that?
Feather. So when did you stop feeding the chickens and start building engines?
Well, I guess after I got out of high school, you know, during high school, I took, you know, auto mechanics, and I learned sort of the basics. Then in 1985, I finally took the plunge, and then I went to monster trucking full time.
Gary's one of the most dedicated drivers on Monster Wars. Single-handedly, Gary crews, races, and maintains all aspects of the Carolina Crusher.
This is a way of life. You know, I love it. It is real different from me, you know, from how I was brought up, you know, on the farm. You know, this is an entirely different lifestyle, but I love this lifestyle, and I don't see me changing it anytime soon.
A competitor for almost 8 years, his devotion is paying off.
You know, I consider myself a competitive driver. You know, I think I have a competitive truck. I think everybody is concerned when I pull up to the line against them that, you know, if they don't have everything on their truck 100% or 105%, that I will beat them.
But Gary will be the first to tell you, with heightened competition also comes danger.
Last year I was involved in a couple of, you know, pretty bad crashes. One of them in Oklahoma City with
Was that with Fred?
yeah, with Barefoot.
Is that where the door comes from?
Yeah, that's the driver's door. What's left of the driver's door right there, it was ripped completely off the truck. It was one of the worst accidents ever in, you know, the monster truck history. It went over the first time, and I was like, it's over now. And then it felt like the truck, you know, picked up speed. It went over again, and I said, well, it's got to stop sometime. And then it laid over on its side, and, you know, it stopped, and I got out of the truck on my own, but until this day, I do not know how I got out.
Gary Porter gets mega air on the track, but off the track, he tries to stay down to earth.
It's been a lifetime dream, you know, to be racing. You know, it's sort of scary at times, you know, why was I chosen to live out the dream? You know, but, you know, I guess if I had a word, you know, to offer to anybody or, you know, to influence anybody is, you know, to try to live that dream, you know, don't give up.
Gary Porter, known as the nice guy on the Monster Wars circuit. Well, nobody knows this as well as grave diggers Dennis Anderson. They're neighbors in North Carolina and good friends, but on the track, friendship is put aside and they're fierce competitors. They'll be up next in round 2. But before the action continues, here's a look at how they made it to the second round. Barefoot had the fastest time of 5.04. Other winners in round 1 are Equalizer, Gravedigger, Predator, and Carolina Crusher, adding 10 points each to their qualifying scores. The losing truck with the fastest time was a very competitive Taurus. His time was 5.07. Invader with a time of 5.26 and Kodiak with a time of 5.29 round off the 8 trucks which advanced to round 2. So hang on, the ride is just getting started. Oh, bring us into round 2.
LuAnn, we're ready to go with the boy from the farm, Gary Porter and the Carolina Crusher. He is staged before a capacity crowd here in Pueblo, Colorado. But look who he's up against. His old North Carolinian buddy, Dennis Anderson, the Gravedigger. The digger truck, Chevy, 540 cubic inches. Going against Gary's Rodec 557. Gary's got a little bigger power plant, but he doesn't have quite the wild driving style of the Gravedigger. So we are set to go. The digger with the red headlights on, that signifies he's running 100%.
Crusher, you might pack the muscle and think you're the king of the course, but true evil is more than just skin deep. I'm much more than you can handle. You'd better pack it in now, Gravedigger, because if you think you can walk over me, ha! Guess again! Crusher, welcome to the evil empire, and I take no prisoners!
Let's go aboard the Gravedigger for a ride with Dennis Anderson.
All right, we're getting ready for takeoff here.
There we go. Side by side. Who won it?
All right. Old Porter was right there on my doors now. I don't know what the heck the deal is here.
Man, Gary Porter, the Carolina Crusher, or Dennis Anderson, the Gravedigger? They both want to know, who won the race? Can we tell from here? I don't know. It's very tough for me to tell. Carolina Crusher, Gravedigger. It looks like a dead heat to me. Look at this. The Gravedigger wins it, 5.40 seconds. And Gary Porter does not think that's right. He's going out to talk to the USHRA officials.
I was wanting to see the replay of Mountain Digger's run if I could. I felt like I won, and I just wanted to see, you know, see it for myself. It had to be a close race regardless.
You know, I kind of agree with Gary Porter. It was a dead heat. Maybe they ought to rerun that thing. We'll find out if they do when we come back right after this.